Georgia coach Kirby Smart had a lot to say recently about his offensive line and his tight end groups. Of course, that's what we're talking about in today's video. But before we talk about the offensive line, let's go over a little recap of what to expect, right? Because that group had a disappointing 2024 season. They were banged up, they were not healthy, but at the end of the day, the standard is the standard, and Georgia's offensive line did not play to that last year. They've got to get more push up front. They have to open up holes in the run game. They have to protect better. Overall, that group has to take a step forward. Now, as far as the players on the offensive line and what the depth chart looks like, make sure you go over to dawgpost.com to read all the insider notes and scrimmage notes that we got from this past weekend. But there will be some familiar faces back on the offensive line, but some new faces as well. It starts at center. You could say it starts at left tackle. I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, you have to have a strong center manning that unit, right? Someone who knows what they're doing, someone who knows exactly what the play is, who can help out the other linemen, can help with audible calls from the quarterback. It needs to be one of the smartest and toughest guys on the entire roster. That's who you need at center. And this year, it looks like that's going to be Drew Bobo. I'd be very surprised if it isn't. This is not a guy who just got there, right? This is a guy who has been in the program for about 4 years now. I believe he was in that 2022 class. He is big, he is smart, he is strong, and he's a guy who has played significantly. A lot of it's been a backup role, but he has, seen the field enough to where it shouldn't be a major problem this year. I do think Georgia has one of the best centers probably in the SEC. I think he's got the potential to show that. He just has to do it. But there are other guys still fighting for not only the center job, but across the offensive line. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say specifically about the center position. He said all those guys are competing and battling, do a really good job there. He said Drew Bobo has been a great force, very consistent, understands it, leads it, covers down. He's in great shape. He's a great effort player. Of course, that's what Kirby Smart loves in all of his players, right? Fire, passion, energy. You have to have it if you want to play, and Drew Bobo really brings that to the table. Kirby Smart said there's a battle there behind him. Malachi Tolliver, a kid from Cartersville who will be in his second full season this year. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. But he said all those guys are competing, and I'm really proud of where they are. While Walt Claire St. Flynn, who played at Grayson, was down at Central Florida, who transferred up this year. He's had to push through some pain and injury on Saturday, and he was able to do that. Cortez Smith, a freshman out of Parkview High School, is on time. He's on schedule for a freshman alignment to be as consistent as he is. And then Dontrell Glover's done a good job just going in there and providing, and snapping and providing us some backup ability. He is a freshman from Langston Hughes High School who was outstanding at tackle when I saw Langston Hughes play last year. He was a former Alabama commitment. Mason Short, another 3-star offensive lineman they signed in last year's class. He was an Alabama commitment. So there's a lot of young talent, but the center is Drew Bobo's. That's his job. He's earned it. And I think he is in store for a really good year. Left tackle, you've got Monroe Freeling. Right tackle looks like Ernest Green. Left guard, you've got Micah Morris, another guy who's been in the program a long time now, a veteran, experienced guy who has patiently waited his turn. Looks like they'll slide him in there at left guard. And then right guard is that's a debate right now. I think that is a job up for grabs, whether that's going to be Daniel Calhoun, Juan Gaston Jr., Michael Uini. Marcus Harrison is a guy that I'm probably higher on more than others. He's just a big polar bear type that they got from, I believe, New York a couple of years ago. So he's one of the many talented guys that they have entering their second season. So the center position, that's locked down. Feels like they've got others locked down on the offensive line, but that right guard spot is definitely up for grabs. Here's what Kirby Smart had to say about the right guard position. He said, quote, "I feel good about those guys. They have intelligence, they have size, they have mass, they have quickness. They have more experience, but the things you want in guards are size and mass to control the pocket." I'll tell you right now, Juan Gaston Jr. is plenty of size. Mountain Gaston, 6'6", close to 6'7". It was at 360. Kirby said he's dropped 25, 30 pounds. you got size there. Daniel Calhoun is a big dude as well, and he's mobile. He is strong. He is aggressive, and whoever wins that job, if it's down to those two, I've seen plenty of both of them play at the high school level. I've been very high on both of them as high schoolers. I think they both, I think Juan Gaston Jr. ended up getting his 5th star, but Daniel Calhoun played like a 5-star when I saw him too. But both those guys are strong, physical, with plenty of size and mass. Exactly what Kirby Smart is looking for at that right guard spot. So I do think it's a good group overall. If they can stay healthy and improve the run game and protect Gunnar Stockton, the offense should be really good. But Monroe Freeling has to play better. Ernest Green's got to play better. They need, the interior. Those guys have to step up because there is a standard that we've seen from Georgia's offensive line. And this year, they need to get back to playing to that standard. At tight end, that's another position group that's really strong. The only guy they're missing from last year is Ben Yurosek, who is 100% replaceable. They're not going to miss a beat without that guy. Oscar Delp, Lawson Lucky, Jaden Riddell, Colton Heinrich. You've got the freshman Elias Williams, Ethan Barbour. It is a very deep and talented group. I keep hearing the freshmen are really impressing, but Kirby Smart is still looking for more out of that group. He's looking for not just good, he's looking for great play out of the tight ends. Here's what he had to say about that group. And this was last week. We haven't got Kirby Smart this week yet. We will get him on Tuesday, but these are some comments that he said about a week ago pertaining to the tight end group. He said, at the end of the day, you get judged at tight end not on a play action pass where you're wide open. You didn't do anything. What did you do? You get judged on can you break tackles. Now, I don't know that we had any tight ends breaking tackles. Talking about last week's scrimmage, the first scrimmage of the fall. He said, quote, there's probably not one tight end who broke a tackle. So when you break tackles, it's something that great players do. Good players just catch the ball and go down. That's where they get you, right? And there's no one obviously who did that better than Brock Bowers. And he's not on the team anymore, but I feel like we have to bring up Brock Bowers because that's what he did. Right, yards after contact. That guy could Randy Moss a defender in the end zone, or he can outrun defenders and defensive backs down the field. That guy did everything, but his ability to make plays after the catch and break tackles and continue running by defenders was what made him so special. It was the ball skills, the speed, but he was so tough to bring down, and that's what Kirby Smart is looking from this group. Oscar Delp can do that. He has powered through defenders before, and you saw that in the Florida game. You definitely saw it against Texas, where he broke a tackle, picked up a key first down. He finishes his, the play really strong. He falls forward at the end of plays, right? He's not getting, hit and going backwards. This is a guy who can pick up those tough, gritty yards after the catch. He runs with balance. And he can break tackles, especially if you tackle him up high. Lawson Lucky can do the same thing, but if both of those guys can take a step forward in their progression and their development, Georgia's tight ends are going to be even better. But they're really good athletes. They've got strong, dependable hands. Lawson Lucky is a guy that can make a terrific catch on the sideline. Oscar Delp's made some big-time catches, one-handed catches in the past. So expectations are, obviously sky high for this group, but Kirby Smart's still saying, hey, as talented as we are, as good as we are at tight end, I want to see them become great. I want to see them break tackles. And if they can do that, they're going to see the ball more. But I definitely think Gunnar Stockton is going to look the tight end's way. He knows how good they are. Jaden Riddell is a guy we haven't seen a ton of yet. This will be his second year, but that guy plays the position like a receiver. I think he's improving his run blocking. That's going to get him on the field. But if the ball is going his way, that's a guy who can catch it, get upfield, and make some big plays and break tackles. Elias Williams is a size matchup nightmare at some point, maybe not a ton this year, but when he sees the field, he's going to be tough to bring down. I've seen Ethan Barbour break a bunch of tackles at the high school level during his days at Alpharetta and Milton. That guy's just different. He is a big-time after-the-catch guy. Great hands. He can secure the football, but that's another guy who can outrun defenders. He is faster than people think. He's gained some weight and muscle since he's been at Georgia. He's really worked hard at that, but that kid can move, and he is tough to bring down. If you don't wrap up these guys, you're not bringing them down. And, that's the type of tight ends that they're looking for, guys who can make plays after the catch. I think they're talented enough to do that, and I think we're going to see even better tight end play from this group than we did last year. The talent's there, and I think overall, if Georgia's offense wants to take a step forward, they need improved play on the offensive line, and they just need the tight ends to be what they are, but maybe take a step forward, especially in the passing game. But just a few quotes from Kirby Smart last week that I wanted to share before he hits the podium tomorrow. We'll get a bunch of new quotes talking about how the team is shaping up. But if you want to read more about this and the rest of the 2025 Georgia Bulldogs, make sure you are on dawgpost.com. That's where the 5-star Georgia fans are, and that's where you will always be updated on Georgia Bulldog football and recruiting. Thanks for watching this video. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you over on the website.